Jonny Lieberman, and you're watching LNP. What does LNP stand for?
Late Night Play.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I've been on there. It's a good show. You should like and subscribe. Like and subscribe.
Good cop and bad cop. Honestly, I had no problem. I don't know if I can do that anymore. I know it's lost here. Get into this, the way it sounds. Woo! Yeah, I guess so. That's it. That's how we're starting it. Welcome back. Good evening. It's everything's working right. We're on. It's Tuesday, February 4th, 2025. My name is Jay Ryan, and I am here in the Late Night Playset with my friend Jonny Lieberman tonight. We've got a lot of stuff going on tonight, Johnny. It's you. We got Manuel Carrillo's in the house. Obviously, producer Ariel is here. You brought your son, who last time he was here was a handful. Now he's like a grown-up little man.
Yeah, I don't remember him being here. He used to claim he was here.
He was. He ate string cheese, and he restructured all of the camera angles in the studio.
Sounds like something he would do. Maybe it's coming back a little bit.
And we put out the call for, well, whatever. There's going to be a little bit of a delivery later from a sponsored delivery, and maybe even more surprises to go along with that. You, sir, I haven't really seen or certainly spent time with in a long-ass time.
It's been a while, man.
I'm really happy you're here.
I know. It's nice to be back. It's weird. I really want to grab this and pull it down, but I won't do that.
Don't do it. They're going to tell you if we need to.
Okay.
But that should be good.
No, it's good. It's just I'm used to having a mic when I'm here, so...
Do you want to change it? We can change it. We're trying to make it easier for the guests.
No, it's totally fine.
And less distracting.
Yeah, it's
Apparently,
fun.
I used to fidget a lot, and so would the guests sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah. We're getting
no fidgeting.
Cutting down on the fidgeting.
We're trying to be fidget-free.
Fidgetless?
Yeah.
Stuff's good. Let's see. I was...
There's a lot been going on since I've seen you. There's only one of me since you were here last. There's only one host to this show.
I've seen you outside of this show, just so people understand.
It seems always so brief, though. I haven't chatted with you in ages.
No, it's been a long time, way too long. I saw you for 10 minutes 2 weeks after Nicole died. I think was kind of
and I'd barely remember that.
That
was not a great time for me.
No, or for anybody, but yeah, you especially. And then I've just been missing good vibes, just scheduling.
What I see is you working a lot lately.
I have been working a lot. I was in Austria yesterday.
Literally.
Yeah.
One long day.
Woke up on the 3rd. This whole trip was just cockamamie, man. Actually, you want to hear a funny story?
I love that. Cockamamie and nincompoop.
Yeah.
My favorite words.
Well, you want to hear a cockamamie story?
About some nincompoops?
About 3 nincompoops.
Yes.
Yeah, they all work for the same company. But I was, who cares? I was supposed to go to Austria, I believe on the 27th of March. And well, first of all, 4 nincompoops, one of them being me. So I get to the airport, and I can't check in, but I checked in for my flight online, but I can't check my bag.
Oh,
So because everything's automated now, you print your own label.
Yeah.
So I go up to the thing. I'm like, hey, I need to check my bag all the way to wherever I was flying, Salzburg. I was flying to Innsbruck or Munich. It doesn't matter. Somewhere over there.
this is
And they go
deep inside look into the Lieberman brain.
And they go, you can't check your bag because you're not on the flight. And I'm like, bro, I'm on the flight. Look, I'm on the 11:59. He's like, yes, the 11:59 p.m. And I was there at 10 a.m.
Oh no!
And I was like, oh, all right, well, I'll just go home. So I went home, and then I came back 12 hours later.
But you didn't schedule that day, so are you then taking it easy? Are you posting a lot on Instagram? What are you doing that day? Hello, Skycam. That was a nice shot, Skycam.
I actually was productive that day. I think I went to the gym, and I can't remember, but I remember oh, no, you know what I did? I did go to the gym, and I did 2 podcasts, The Inevitable. I did. So Ed was going to have to do 2 by himself. So we had we had the CEO of Dodge and Scout same day, so I was able to do those.
Oh, that's kind of a weird it worked out
It
situation.
worked out. Yeah, it worked out. Okay. But it didn't work out at all because so I go and I can't check my bag again. And I go, hey, I can check my bag to Atlanta, but I can't check it all the way through to Munich.
Because you're already checked in?
No, because they go, sir, you can't check your bag because you have an 11-hour layover in Atlanta. And I go, what? And I go, I guess I should really look at these tickets more closely. And I just...
You didn't book this, I'm assuming.
No, it was booked, but I was supposed to go with Audi to drive the RS e-tron.
Shout out to Audi.
RS e-tron. No, Audis, they come out heroic in this. So I just sent the PR guy a text like, hey, remind me to punch your travel department in the face, because I'm still trying to process what I'm going to do in Atlanta for 11 hours. I have some friends there. Well, I got to stash my bag. Do I bring the bag? And he's like, yo, you're supposed to be in the air right now. Like, what do you mean? And I'm like, no, dude, this is the ticket you bought me.
So the time was there. Oh, wow.
Yeah, this is, you bought me, and he's like, no. He's like, if you have an 11-hour layover, by the time you get there, you'll have missed the whole event. Yeah, you won't be able to participate. So, and he's like, I'm on a plane right now. I'm texting him all this. He's like, here, call this number. It's like the emergency number, right? So I call the number and I sort of explain what's happening, and
emergency to the airline,
not the airline, to the travel agency.
Okay.
That booked it. Yeah. And the person goes, after a long time on the phone, she's like, okay, she's like, I can offer you this solution. You can fly to Charles de Gaulle, and then blah blah blah. It leaves at 9:05 p.m. I go, 9:05? You mean 9:50? She goes, no, 9:05. And I go, it's 9:06. And she literally says, oh, well then we cannot offer you that solution. Which I thought was great. So I texted my friend Mark. So for the second time in the same day, I left LAX without being on a flight.
Oh my god!
And you know how rad it is to drive to LAX twice from this side of town?
It's the best.
It's the greatest thing in the world.
Yeah, once is not enough.
Yeah, I got to do it twice in one day. It's awesome. Anyways, Audi, because they're the people that work there are wonderful. They said, we feel so bad. And I was going to fly there, do the Audi thing, and then stay on to do this thing with Polestar. I'll get to that in a second.
Okay.
And so I said, hey, we'll split it up. Like, Audi fly me out, and then Polestar fly me back, and and we'll figure out a way to get me from Innsbruck to Salzburg, or no problem.
Sounds like it makes sense.
Zell
it's a ride share.
Yeah, ride share. So Audi was like, you know what? I feel so bad. I'll just fly you out. I'll get you another ticket and fly you out for the Polestar event, which is like unheard of and super cool.
So Audi flew you out for the Polestar.
Yeah,
that is unheard of.
And I could have look. Obviously, I could have had Polestar do it and blah blah blah. These things happen, and Audi's been having some issues. Actually, so when the same travel company, well, I won't name.
And another thing, I'll tell you something else.
No, this is great. Hey, buddy, you want to sit here? Come on, Richard, everybody.
Here he is.
Hey.
What's
up, Richard Lieberman?
We got this. There we go.
So the next morning, I get a call from the same travel agency, and they go, okay, we have a flight for you to get out to Austria. You're going to leave on the 29th, and you'll get there on the 31st. And I'm like,
Oh,
no.
same problem.
I'm like, no, it doesn't take 48 hours to fly to Europe. It's not 1950. Like, we have jets. And
Back in time.
So, when you have a travel agency that the people have never flown, they come up with solutions like this. and then the next one was, okay, we'll fly you to Heathrow and then Heathrow to Salzburg. And like, okay, great. And they give me the details, and I'm like, it's two different airlines. I have to switch airlines with a 50 minute layover in Heathrow. And I'm like, no, like, absolutely not. There's no way I'm gonna like switch airlines, like, and I was bringing a big bag of winter clothes. I was checking it. Anyways, I finally got a different airline, but it all worked out. I got there, and I went because
here we go, the good stuff.
Yeah, so Polestar. And people, it was for the F.A.T International Ice Race. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, super cool.
That was so
Ski
cool.
touring, yeah. So people associate that with Porsche because Ferdy Porsche, who's the great grandson of Dr. Porsche, founded it. And Porsche has been a sponsor of it, and Porsche Design is also a sponsor of it because Porsche Design is in LMZ. But, it's a standalone business. Oh, see you, buddy. I think that means my anecdote's not that good. And so
I thought it'd be different.
Yeah, so Polestar decided to sponsor the race too. So they had a presence there. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, and they built 3 like kind of ice racy vehicles for the event. So it was like
Are the Polestars all-wheel drive? Or just rear?
They're how do I put this? The
Bias.
2 is either. It's either rear or all. And then I believe the 3 and the 4 are both all-wheel drive, although I feel like a long-distance, long-range rear drive 3 is coming out.
Okay.
Yeah. But they made these things, they're called the Arctic Circle Editions. And, basically they jack them up a little bit. They put on OZ racing wheels and some light bars and some roof racks.
They look really badass.
They look really badass. And studded tires, and they go like stank. And they were really proud that
It's on your Instagram, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm going to go there.
Yeah. The Polestar 4, which is the sportiest one, which had a big hydraulic handbrake on it, kept catching the Taycans. So they were very proud of that. So I think they were catching one of the poorly driven Taycans because the ones that were driven really well were like
These guys, right?
Yeah, that's all 3 of them in order. No, it's out of order. It's the 2, the 4, the 3.
Okay.
Yeah, the big roof rack with the tire on it is the.
Left to right, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, I can't. Hang on.
That's all right.
I'm just
I'm gonna
reading
get
your
Yeah, so the one that has a big 3 on it is the 3.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah.
Now I
can't
get
see
it.
that from my view. It's too small.
Yeah. Yeah, so did the ice race, which was awesome. Like, super fun event. Small, but well attended. Like, I think maybe 5,000 people.
Oh. That's way more than I would have thought. I didn't even know that there were spectators. I thought that was kind of an invite only.
No. It's total. It's open to the public. It's not
Cool.
that expensive. I think it's like $130, or 130 euros for the ticket. So
to spectate.
to spectate.
Yeah. Okay.
And but
It's like,
like,
to
I'm trying
race?
to think.
I want to go.
Oh no, to race is probably a little bit
tiny
more.
bit more.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So it's not cheap, but it's it's not crazy expensive. It's less than Disneyland, and it's a full day.
I don't know what that says though.
Yeah. And it's just really cool. They had like all sorts of cars, everything from, there was, obviously lots of like Porsche Dakars, but there was, what are some of the cool highlights? But the best were these Audi S1s, these little tiny rocket ship things. And I like walk up, first thing, I walk up to the fence, because, you stand behind a fence and there's the ice tracks there. And this thing comes by completely sideways, like throwing ice on you, shooting flames, and then there's no emission controls at all, so you're just breathing in whatever's coming out. And it was like, wow, this is pretty gnarly. Wow. And then they do ski touring, which is it's like a tow rope, like water skiing, but you do it behind a car.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and
Really cool.
it was awesome. Yeah, and they had there was like a Ford GT was doing it.
I don't know who. That's like the motorcycle sidecar racing. I don't know which one of them is crazier doing those things. Is it the driver or is it the guy on the tow rope?
Oh, the guy on the tow rope, because there was a Beetle. Somebody had a Super Beetle there, and it rolled while there was a guy behind it, and the thing rolled, and then there was like other cars. So it's like the guys on skis are like,
yeah, that's a good point.
yeah, they're very brave.
But how do you roll? He must have hit something. And
Yeah, he went up
pitched
the
it over.
embankment and rolled over, and then like I forget. The crowd just came and like pushed him back up, and yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious! Like rally rules.
Yeah.
It seems like such a quirky thing until you're like, yeah, the guy on the back and the car rolled and there's more cars coming.
Yeah, the skier was okay. He was fine. And the driver was fine. And what I like about it is it has this sort of, it kind of reminds me a little bit of 24 Hours of Lemons in that, like, there's no stakes. Like, if you win, you get a cowbell.
Right.
Like an Austrian cowbell that says F.A.T International on it. And, I know Ferdy pretty well, and he was driving one of the taxis. It was a Taycan taxi.
Giving people lifts around.
Yeah, giving people rides, And I was like, how's the ice? Because it was like a very bright day, and so there was a lot of direct sunlight. And he was like, yeah, it's kind of slushy, but, who gives a fuck? And I was like, that's the attitude.
That's the right answer.
That's what we like, yeah.
That's the right answer.
Yeah.
Cowbell is a pretty damn good prize, though.
It's
Cowbell,
great,
fat,
but like, there's no cash. Yeah, you literally get a cowbell. And it's just, everything about it, it's just, look, there's obviously a fashion side to it. Like, F.A.T International has become a brand. They're very smart at what they're doing. But, like, because I was like, what is F.A.T? I looked it up, and it was just some sponsor, in a sense for, Frankfurt something, like, transportation. They sponsor.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, they were just a sponsor on a Le Mans team in 1992. And Ferdy saw it and thought it was a cool logo, so he bought the rights to it. I'm sure the company's long gone.
Right.
And just became the F.A.T race, or F.A.T ice race.
Hilarious.
Yeah, and it's it's F.A.T. So it's slick, and there's it's not like hipster's the wrong word, but it's kind of, like Roof does clothing. It's a little bit like that. Like, it's like, okay, these people are thinking about stuff. It's not.
Is Roof doing clothing now? I don't know if I realized that.
Oh well, Aloisa
so they're
Roof,
a lifestyle brand now.
Aloisa Roof is like she designs it all. So,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and she does partnerships with like it's not Period Correct. What's that? Race Service.
Oh,
they did a whole
kidding.
collab.
I
I think she did one with Kith, I think. So yeah,
it's very cool. I didn't realize.
It's slick. It's slick. They know what they're doing. But it's cool.
Slick.
Yeah. Oh, hey, Richard, you got something going on?
I'm going to show the internet password.
Oh,
yeah,
it's got
it's
a
in
log
there.
on. Hey, bud, why don't you just play your games? No? All right, get out of
Is
here.
it daddy approved?
It's fine. Yeah, whatever. What's he gonna do?
Some of my games.
Need the internet, of course.
It's
Okay.
true. Yeah.
I don't know.
You can't do anything without the internet anymore.
I mean,
So when they turn it off, we're screwed.
he could read a book. Anyway,
Does a kid that age know how to read a book?
Oh,
Like a
yeah.
hard book?
yeah,
I mean, keep
he was
his
reading.
attention?
Yeah, he was reading.
that's
He was
awesome.
reading Jason and the Argonauts to me this morning.
To you.
Yeah, and his grandpa. Yeah,
Very cool.
yeah. His
That's
reading
good to
is
know.
like
So like the
exploded.
next
Yeah.
generation's attention span will be okay. Everyone's worried about the phones and the devices and the screen time and all that crap.
No, we're totally hosed. We had microplastics in the brain,
Yeah,
like
I've read that
Trump.
too.
I mean, come on, it's all over. We're fiddling as Paris burns, but anyways, or is it Rome burns? Paris,
I
Rome.
think it's the whole
Paris
globe
is
at this
Burning
point.
is a great movie. Anyways, yeah. So F.A.T ice race, and the next day I got to drive all three of the Polestar Arctic editions.
But you never made it to the Audi event because there was
No.
there was no way.
That
at
just
that
wouldn't
point.
happen. Yeah,
Oh,
just
that's a
didn't
bummer.
happen. It is a bummer. And it was, it was awesome. It was the RS e-tron GT, the new refresh one. So it's like, I don't know, 800 and some odd horsepower, 900 horsepower.
Is it even more aggressive looking? Because it already is one of the most aggressive looking cars out there.
It's just slight tweaks on the looks.
Okay.
It's kind of like the Taycan. Like, you have to really know what you're looking for to see the update. But
It's funny you did that because the Taycan is now doing this.
Yeah.
It's now squinting.
yes. Well, you can make lights smaller. Hey. So it sucks. That said, I get to go in a week. What's today? The 4th?
Yeah.
The 4th?
Yeah.
Yeah, a week.
Today is Tuesday, February 4th.
There you go. In a week, I'll be in Colorado driving Toyotas on ice. So.
Is that the new spectacular show at the amphitheater?
Yes.
Toyotas on Ice.
Toyotas on ice. Yes.
When I was a kid, they really had that. Disney had Herbie on Ice.
of course.
And
Yeah.
the Ice Capades and all
Sure.
that.
Ice Capades are huge.
Scooby on Ice or whatever.
I feel like there was a lot more of that. Yeah, I used to see a lot of stuff on
Less
ice.
entertaining now.
The
is that what you're saying?
Nutcracker on ice. I feel it was a big one out here.
Nutcracker on Ice. Yeah.
I feel like that was a thing. I could be making it up.
Colorado. It's hard not to bring up Pike's Peak with you because I want to know if you're
yeah.
gonna do that again ever.
Yeah, one of these days. It's just one like it's such a commitment of resources and time.
Yeah.
That and the other thing was like that was Zwart, who by the way was at the ice race.
Huge shout out to Zwart.
Yeah, he got a spot for me, and I think they don't want me.
I mean,
to come
he
back
approached you, didn't he? Isn't that the story?
I think what happened was he didn't really know who I was a year before, and I knew who Jeff Zwart was, obviously. And I walked up to him at Pike's Peak, and I'm like, "Hey, like, I understand you coach this class, the club sport class. Like, I would love to race it." And I think he just probably had 100 people say the same thing to him. And then somehow he started looking at my Instagram, and he came up to me at Good Vibes and was like, "Hey, like, I really like what you write. Like this, yeah, okay."
And you can really drive.
I don't know if
Did he know that or no? Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean,
So he chose you based on personality?
Yeah, just getting it, whatever it is,
okay.
like just lined up with what he likes to read about or whatever.
Loves that Jonny Lieberman voice, baby.
Hey, man, and so that was like Porsche, basically gave me the car. I didn't have to pay for a car, which is like
GT4, is that what you did?
GT4 Close Sport, yeah. Oh. It was the one that Tanner Faust had driven the year before, and I think Pastrana, maybe one of those.
So it had a little bit of pedigree.
Yeah. Good car. But it's still I raised $58,000, and I spent $17,000 of my own money on top of that.
Wow.
So it's just racing is just lighting money on fire.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah, that race, the race itself sucked because it was just so foggy. It was just awful. It was just totally unenjoyable, the race. The practice was bitching, and I really enjoyed that. And it was a whole discipline to get into because you wake up at 2:20 in the morning to start your day. And
Are you okay? Are you watching this on television? Jesus Christ! We're in here and there's microphones, right? Oh my God!
Well, have you heard what Pike's practice? Pike's practice is crazy. So if you're listening and
have you ever gone? You would love it. You should.
Yeah,
go.
It's really fun. It's a fun spectator.
I've
event.
never been either. I shouldn't say that, but I would love to go.
You should go. It's a really easy lift to go.
Sponsor us.
Yeah, no. But I mean, I don't know. But okay, yeah. So your alarm goes off at 2:20. You're down with the car at about 3, loading onto the trailers. You're on the road by I don't know, 3:20 or something like that. And we were at Porsche Colorado Springs, which is 20 minutes from the entrance to Pikes Peak.
Yeah. And
you line up at 3:45, and I think at 4 a.m. They kind of open the gate. And you get to now. You either do they break it up into 3 sections. So your practice is either the bottom third, the middle third, or the top third.
Right.
And that's all you do that day. And then so you start getting the cars unloaded. Driver's meeting is 4:55 a.m. 5 a.m. green flag, and you go as many times as you can.
Only in your section.
Only in your little section. And then they black flag it at 8:30, and you have to be packed and off the mountain or heading down the mountain by 9, and then they open it up for the public.
So it's a road again.
Yeah, and so you do that I think the first time I did it, I think it was 3 days in a row. I came back and then did it 4 more days.
Wow.
And and it's crazy. And then the crazy thing is because I don't want the cars on the bottom hitting the cars in the middle, and vice versa. There's about a half mile of the road that you never race. So I was talking to Zwart about it, and he's like, so this is my whatever it was 19th or 20th year, meaning I've driven the whole thing at speed 19 times.
Because that's the only time you can do it.
Because that's the only time you can run the whole thing.
Wow.
Yeah. So they cut out a quarter mile to keep the cars separated from each other. Because if there's brake failure or whatever, someone's making a U-turn, you just don't want.
It's like rally rules; they stagger them.
Yeah.
Right. Wow.
And it's crazy. And then I remember being in the middle section, which probably starts at 12,000 feet, something like that. And anyway, the point is, I hadn't turned my oxygen on, so I was there, but I hadn't really acclimated yet.
What's the peak? Is 14,000?
14,125 feet is the peak. Yeah,
I've been skydiving twice at 12 and a half, and I was hitting the oxygen.
Yeah,
or even if I didn't hit it, you feel like you need to.
Yeah, they super recommend that everyone run on oxygen these days. Zwart lives at 10,000 feet or something,
True.
And all the locals,
That's true.
all the locals don't do it, but everyone else kind of runs oxygen. But it was I think it was my second day, and I hadn't really acclimated yet. And like I remember I was like trying to like buckle my belts or whatever I was doing, and my crew chief Jason was talking to me, and I saw like he had this look on his face, like the way I look at Richard when I can know he's lying to me. And he's like, you haven't turned your oxygen on, have you? And I'm like, no.
How could he tell? How could he tell?
And he like woke up. Was like, oh.
Oh, is
shit,
that it?
okay,
You were
yeah.
dragging?
I like, was sitting there telling me everything was fine, but I couldn't even like buckle my belt. You know, I was just like,
Lost all dexterity.
yeah, and then yeah. So it's a real like endeavor. So I'd love to do it again, but it's like, it's kind of like 3 weeks of being in Colorado.
Right.
That's,
You do have to
that's
move
a lot
there
of
for a
time.
month,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's a lot of time. A lot of money, and then a lot of like footwork to get sponsors. It's just a lot that goes into it. I'd love to do it again.
So the rest of us who just got to watch you do all that, it was lovely and it was very easy and entertaining.
Yeah.
It's really cool for us to
Yeah,
go
yeah,
along
yeah.
that ride.
Thanks for the delight.
Yeah.
Big time. Big time.
Good times.
Yeah.
So one of these years.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, because it's like, I know Pike's Peak, which is something most people don't. So I should do it again.
How do you know? Well, just from studying and training? Or
Yeah,
did you know
I
ahead of time from video
spent
games?
like hours, like, gosh, I don't know, 50 hours, no, more than 50 hours. A lot of time, my last race was 50 hours. A lot of time on simulators.
Did you do that ahead of time? Like,
Oh,
are you
yeah.
a video game guy?
No. I'm terrible at simulators, but you had to do it. It's a way to learn. But yeah, no, like I flew. My buddy in Miami has a big simulator in his apartment, and he's a coach. And he was like, just come to Miami. So I flew there for 3 days, and we just did 3 solid 8-hour days on the simulator.
That's hilarious. So
Yeah.
you flew to Miami to drive virtual Colorado.
Yeah,
Hilarious.
Yeah, but I mean,
because that's where you do it, folks.
but this is what I'm saying. Like, it costs a lot of money. There's a lot of money
Yeah.
involved. Like, yeah, okay. Could I have like found a guy here? I did have a coach here, Michael Ryan Johnson. And he was living in San Pedro at the time. I'd go to his house all the time, and he would coach me. But he also was a traveling, driving instructor, so he wasn't around a lot, and I just wanted as much time as possible. Plus, like, 2 really good coaches. Jimmy Morrow is the other one. So yeah, it worked out, but it was just a lot. It was a lot.
Let's get to some of these comments over
Oh,
here. I
boy.
don't know what's going on here. Craig McKenzie says, hello from Scotland.
Yes.
Scotland.
Hello.
Oh, that's funny. Ariel's jumping in there. All right. And I didn't know that. Hang on. Let's address this. Ariel's mom is from Cumnock?
Yep, can't make that up.
Cumnock.
Cumnock, and that is
Oh, Cumnock.
that is how you spell it.
And
that's how you
where
say
is
it?
Cumnock?
It is a very small town in Scotland. It's in close to Ayrshire.
That's funny because I just saw this thing. It was like like Twatville and Seaman Street, and it was like take a filthy road trip through the UK.
Yeah.
Cumnock was not on the list.
That's gonna be my next UK trip. Will be
Okay, yeah.
a dirty trip around. That's perfect, actually.
Yeah.
John Marager's U.S. Forest Service up on the mountains says shenanigans.
Okay.
Hello from him. Craig Meets a nice. I have family down that way. All right. This is a side private conversation going here. Same to you and yours. All right. Mark Shields. Go Packers.
Hell yeah, baby.
Go
Shields is a
Packers.
DeLorean time machine owner. Always fly out in and out of John Wayne because of the LAX thing.
What?
We were talking
No,
about.
first of all, not going to Orange County.
No, we wouldn't. I guess
Yeah.
he's saying he would.
Oh, yeah. I mean, but again, you can't get a good flight out of Burbank to Munich. Like that would
Yeah.
compound my problem.
Yeah.
You can't even.
Long Beach to Munich.
You can't get Burbank to Atlanta. You can't get to like a hub where international flights take off out of.
Jonathan says, hope to see you folks Friday morning. Yes, sir. Thank you.
It's raining Friday morning.
yeah?
That's right.
Doesn't
Yeah.
bother me none.
Well, I have a Porsche Boxster Spider RS. Which
What a week I'm having.
Not only will it slide off the mountain, but I don't think I built the top. I put the top down today. Wow.
I just watched that right before you showed up. I watched the old Top Gear guys do the same thing where they couldn't put the old top on. Is it any better than that?
It's worse.
Okay.
It's much. I remember the first one.
Yeah.
The first one was like it was just a bikini top, and so
That's what this was, yeah.
It didn't have like rear glass. This one is literally insane. Like you take the top off, you roll it up, you put it onto like the kind of part over your head is like this carbon fiber kind of blade. Take that off, physically off. It's like off the car.
So
And
what
then-
you would do
hang on,
last normally is what you do first.
It's not even that. There's just like an extra part, but this extra part you have to like. It has like it has like a bar if you're doing like behind the neck pull downs. It has like one of those with like then you have to like plug that into these flappy. It's insane.
Okay.
So,
Wow.
and
Is it a one-man job?
as Andy Prunger said in the video where he shows how to do it, he says it's easier with two. And the first time, cause I didn't realize that the whole top like just comes off, like you pick it up and put it in your garage.
Oh.
And like I undid it and it just fell on my head. Luckily, it doesn't weigh anything. But it was like that's a weird design. Okay.
So when the shipping company dropped off the press car, they didn't go over all that stuff with you?
Oh, I picked it up at LAX last night at 10 p.m. Yeah.
Oh, hilarious.
Yeah.
They flew one in for you?
Well, no, that's how I get.
That's how you
get
do it.
Press cars.
I
It's
see.
It's easier for them because otherwise they have to drive to my house, which is like far away.
I don't get as many as you do. I get one every once in a blue moon, but they've always brought them here.
Yeah, and they will happily, but I just know it for them. It's like simple to go to LAX.
Got it.
And it just works out. But anyways, so
one more trip to LAX. What's one more trip?
What's one more?
Well,
All
I
right,
flew
here
in
we go.
last night. Oh, what's this?
Let's somebody at the door, I
Oh,
bet.
front door. Oh,
Hello?
is this the mixer?
Oh, pizza delivery. Oh, buzzing them in.
We got
boy.
snacks.
All right, it should be good.
So I put the top down, and then I went to lunch, and I put it up when I parked, and then I was driving with the top up, and I just hear air gushing in one side. And I don't think I did it right.
I did not do this
Yeah,
properly.
so I don't think I can take it to good vibes.
No.
Yeah. Hey, buddy, come here. What's up? Hey, come here, on camera. If you want to be
It's
on
like I
camera.
specifically don't want to be
Well,
on
we're
camera.
live on air, so you got to be quick.
Well, could I get my fruit snacks?
Yes. Are they in the car?
Yes.
No, you can't get your fruit snacks. Pizza's here.
Really?
Yeah, it's coming.
It's coming up right now.
Yeah. Oh, see, those would have been some great faces to have on camera.
I know. Next time on camera, buddy.
I really should have.
You do it now? Okay, camera, show us the face you did. Sit here and show us the face you did for no fruit snacks. Let's see that face. Oh, now, when we get home, we're going to finish watching The Hulk. Show me that face. All right, get out of here.
And then what about the pizza face? That's how I feel too.
My wife's out of town.
Well, she probably deserves it, right?
No, she's working.
Oh, really?
But she's coming back, and then she's flying to Philly this weekend to watch the Super Bowl with her sisters.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's insane. So she does this every time they're in the Super
Wait,
Bowl.
Philly's in the Super Bowl.
Philly's in the Super Bowl.
Oh, whoa.
And
That's a big deal.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this. Look at this. This is a big deal here. Oh,
Do
my
we-
gosh.
do we have the
gotta spin
camera?
this
We
around.
gotta
Yes,
spin. We gotta
spin
get
this
some
around.
cameras.
Look at this. We've got a
that.
special delivery.
Pizza delivery.
Wow.
So it's Weirdos Pie.
Papa Vin says hello.
You're
sends
even
his
wearing the
best.
shirt.
Yeah, I know.
So here, guess what? This is literally the shirt off his back.
Yeah, I was
What?
gonna say it's got all the
He's
flour on
pizza in
it.
that.
Look,
Look at it. Sauce,
Oh,
flour.
my gosh.
that's how cool he is.
Oh, that's amazing.
Literally
So we
the
got some pie.
Well, but more than that, this is Digital Zero, who also sponsored our new mixer. So he's brought the mixer and pizza.
Wow.
That's very cool.
All
Thanks,
right.
man.
You're
Top
very
notch,
welcome.
dude.
They'll set you up in the other room.
Yeah.
But thank you so much. That's awesome.
Wow.
And we got pizza, so now Richard can eat.
What a wild show.
You're welcome.
I know, it's a party. It's a party.
Great,
Party in
yeah.
Studio 11.
Yeah. This mic.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not right. Maybe we'll go back
I
to
think
the
it
other
just needs to be higher.
Could be.
Yeah. Yeah. Or I shouldn't wear a hat or move around.
Oh, you know what? We've used it a bunch, and I thought it was great. Magnus was bumping it with his hat, too. Maybe it's a hat
Well,
thing.
first of all, Magnus's hats are this big. and
Correct.
He's tall.
He
So,
brought one of the...
Yeah. Yeah.
He brought the wedding hat.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
the
So
flowers.
it could be that, or just put it like here. I don't know.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
It's a work in progress.
Okay. Yeah. It's fine.
Also,
It doesn't bug me any.
it's such a small room. You know what I mean? Like,
it's-
everything is inches.
Yeah. Although it's bigger. It's bigger than you would think. It's always smaller in my mind. I get here, I'm like, oh yeah, it's actually pretty spacious.
We've done a little bit of
I've noticed,
work
yeah.
to,
Mhm.
you know,
Mhm.
make it the same but different.
Mm-hmm.
I miss Nicole a lot, and her lack of energy is felt a lot.
It's kind of weird without her, yeah. Because my whole thing is first of all, like I remember the first time I came here, and I had no idea. Like I didn't know this was your apartment. I didn't know anything. I barely knew you guys.
Okay.
Yeah, you asked me to be on the show, or I might have invited myself on. I don't remember.
No, I'm sure I asked.
And I get here, and she answers the door, and she's like apologizing because she's not walking very well. She had a cane at that point. And I'm
Yeah.
like, why are you apologizing? You know, and she was like, I don't know, just but then like you know, like as the years rolled on and like, you know, her speech devolved.
Yeah.
For lack of any nice way to put it. I just came here. My only thing I tried to do was just make her laugh the entire time.
Yep.
That was it. I had no other purpose for being here. And it's just different. It's weird. Yeah. Hey, bud. What's up? Oh, hello. Look at this sweet guy. Are you getting some pizza? All right, we're gonna keep podcasting. Anyway, yeah. So I got the Spider.
You were one of the you were one of the people. Keeping it here just for a second. You were one of the people that you know were inside, and you know you were allowed, so to speak. You were invited to come that last week, and that was not something you were into doing because of your own stuff.
Well, I'm not a very spiritual person, and so when people are really sad and then say like, you know, like she'll be with angels soon or anything like that, it triggers me to say no, she won't. You know, like, and I'm kind of a bummer in situations like that. And like, yeah, I lost. I went through, you know, that first years of COVID, like, lost my wife's mother-in-law, or my wife's stepmom, my mother-in-law, my friend Davey Johnson before that, right before COVID started, my mom, my best friend, and my sister, in that order. And I'm just sort of done with death, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, big time.
And, yeah, and I you know, I probably should have come, but at the same time, it was like, what would I have added? You know, I would have just upset a lot of people.
Not really. Byron was here. You should have heard the stuff he was saying. We luckily Nicole was into comedy, and you could say nothing inappropriate around her, which was so great.
But it was, you know, it's just like I don't know. It was just
no judgment. I wanted you to know how much you were loved, that you were part of. Yeah, you were part of it, even though you weren't
I appreciate that. It's just like yeah, I don't know. I did a lot of
therapy. And now she's in a better place.
Yeah, see? No, she's not. I mean, that's my opinion. I wish she was here. You know, you know, and part of that, I'll tell you, when I was 6 years old, this family that I grew up with, there's 3 brothers. They went to the grandfather's cabin. One of them, the 8-year-old, picked up a rifle, shot the 6-year-old, went through his stomach and into the heart of the 2-year-old and killed him. And they were Mormon, and we went to the funeral, and they were like joyous, and they were like, "Oh, he gets to be with Jesus," and he's and I'm like, I was so freaked out. I mean, it scarred me for life. I was like, what is wrong with these people? Now again,
What happened?
this is when I was a kid. A friend of mine's little brother got shot, so don't play with guns.
Big time.
6-year-olds.
You're traumatizing your
Yeah,
kid.
I know. Yeah.
This is
Normal night in the Lieberman This is why you don't want me at funerals. Yeah.
Someone's gonna like, they gotta learn at some point.
Yeah.
Oh
So,
my God! Do you want a piece of pizza?
no, I'm all right.
Oh man, yeah, I do. It smells delicious.
Well, what's the other one besides cheese?
Sorry, I only got cheese.
Oh, yeah, I'm good.
I asked for
It's still. You don't even want to try it.
Okay, I'll eat it.
You don't have to.
It's like a gimmick. It's a shtick.
You don't have to.
No, I'll have a piece. That's fine.
There you
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
Eat a baby one.
All right.
I thought you would have said no because of your diet. You're constantly
I'm not.
lifting and you're constantly.
What diet? I eat like the trash.
Really? So
I mean-
but you seem to be into fitness.
I'm into like getting really strong. I think like being really strong is not a healthy way to be, but I was into being fit.
Thank
and then-
you.
Thank you.
Oh, yummy!
And I find like
Thank you so much.
I find doing things to be healthy very boring. Doing things to be strong very interesting.
Oh, I see.
But then I just eat like, you know, garbage. You know, so
No, that makes a lot of sense, even in your car choices. They're kind of similar there.
Oh, you think?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
What do you mean, Mr. Lambo? And you're very into exotic, insanely fast shit.
Yeah.
And I'm more into like the driving experience. Doesn't matter how fast I'm going. You're just like more. You're Clarkson. More.
Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously. I mean, you want it. Why go slow? You know.
Oh my gosh, this is delicious. Shout out to Papa Vin and Weirdoughs Pizza. They've been on the show, and they just reopened this week.
Needs like mushrooms and olives and pepper.
Oh, that's right. It's not enough stuff for you. Man, is that tasty. If you're listening, we're enjoying delicious Weirdoughs Pizza.
Weirdoughs is the best.
Let's see what we got here. Dan McGinnis says, hola. Hi, Dan McGinnis. And yay, Colorado. Boo, a lot of money. Big time. Let's see. What do we got here? Every time I go driving at track with a car, remember how much more fun it is driving a rental go-kart on a track. It's... Oh, this is terrible.
Much more fun
Thank you.
than any car that has ever been for me, and it's infinitely cheaper.
Yeah.
The rental car.
Go-karting.
That's from a skinny person, though. A fat guy has never said anything positive about a go-kart.
I'll give you that.
That's interesting. I never thought about that because I used to love go-karts, but I also was trim.
Yeah. Farrah and I, we had a thing years ago called the Fat Guy Karting League. And we came up with this because we were at some go-kart event. Him and I were like, smoke everyone in the corners because we knew how to drive. And these people literally had been like, I've never been on a go-kart before. And then there's like these 120-pound kids that would we get on the straight and they just pass us because we're fat. And we're like, yeah, we have to have you have to be 200 pounds and up to be in our go-kart club.
So that it's kind of like everybody's governed at the same
Yeah, it just sucks.
same handicap.
Yeah, it just sucks. The straightaways just kill you. You know, it's just not fair. Because all the carts weigh the same.
Yeah, and I would have thought that because you knew how to drive, that the corners...
Yeah, corners were great. It's the straights. You know, so.
Always blaming the straights.
Hey. Yeah. See?
That's hilarious.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Straights coming in,
Yeah.
queering everything up. Boy, my shit is terrible. What is that word? What did I write there? Oh, blip shift. Your blip shift shirt.
Oh, yeah.
That's a cool one.
You
Tell
talk
us
for a
about
second.
that.
Well, I got
okay.
a crust in my tooth. Okay.
Let me get a close-up of that for sure.
So my friend, Jonah had a spare house during the fires, and he filled it with a bunch of firefighters who had lost their homes. So these are guys from Altadena who were in the Palisades trying to put out the fire, and then their houses burned down. And he had a bunch of them. Like there was a lot. It was like 5 guys.
Wow.
I shouldn't even say. It was like maybe a couple of families, whatever it was. But I was like, that's amazing. And I'm like, first of all, like, oh my God, that sucks. Second of all, like, just like the selflessness of like saving someone else's house while your home's burning.
Right.
Not that anyone could have done anything to stop any of this, but so I was like, oh, we should do something to help them. And then Danny Sparks. Of
course, yeah.
So Danny he shot that video of those Super Scooper Canadian airplanes. And I don't know, all the local news stations or whoever, I don't know, the video went viral.
It did. It got picked up by a bunch of sources.
It was like the first hopeful thing I saw, because I'm sure you had a miserable time during the fires.
Yeah, it wasn't fun.
We all did.
You had an especially miserable time. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, okay, that's kind of hopeful, and it was cool that they were, flew down from British Columbia and all that. So anyways, we designed this shirt. And the money from the shirts, Blip Shift is cool. They're donating 100% of their costs. I think like the printer still charges them, but it's like
Sure, because they have to.
yeah, it's just whatever. The printer doesn't whatever. But so yeah, we're raising some money, and then the charity it's called like the California Benevolent Firefighters Charity or something.
It's for the wives and families of fallens, right?
Yeah, fallens, or if your house burns down, or if you're injured, and all that. And I talked to a couple experts. I would consider them experts in the subject of like, how do you actually help the firefighters who like lost their houses, And so they said this is probably the best one. And as of today, we sold like over 400.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah, it's good, and it's like the gross is we've grossed over 10 grand. I think we've netted like 6,000 for charity so far, and it's still on sale for a bit. So
it's a super cool shirt. But what I think of more than that too is it's those. Thank you very much. Thank you, and just maybe a dessert list if you got it would be great. Yeah,
I'll
thank
be
you.
right back with that.
I like cheesecake.
Not only is the image cool, but the plane that's representing was famous in the news because it was damaged during the drone. A drone hit the wing
that
of
was
one
the
of those
type of
planes.
plane. Yeah.
Well, there was only 2 of them.
Yeah, right.
And it was one of those 2.
Right, exactly. That photo. This is actually funny. So the photo just was from Wikipedia that the artist used, and it wasn't the Canadian one. It was the Italian. And so last minute we were like, what's that? The stripe was the wrong color, and it turned out that was like an Italian
Oh, that's
firefighting
so
crew.
funny.
Yeah.
Because
So but
Danny
we
was
changed
filming
it.
the two Canadian
Yeah,
planes.
so we changed it to the correct Canadian livery.
Gotcha.
Yeah, last second. I mean, we almost were selling the Italian one, but wouldn't have made any difference. It was the stripe was like a different color.
We got incoming over
Hey,
here.
bud.
Did you get some pizza? Okay,
Did
good.
you like that pizza?
I haven't finished.
Oh, but was it tasty? Okay.
Once it's done is when you lock in the answer on that.
What did you think of the fires, Richard?
I didn't like them.
That's right. They were not good.
So he's
They
not
were 5
pro-fire.
miles away from us.
Yeah, they were a little too close.
For me, it was the fact that they kept popping. You weren't safe anywhere. Sure, there's one over there and there's
Yeah.
one over there, but it didn't mean that one couldn't pop up here, there.
That was
there, here.
so
And it
hard.
did.
And they
Yeah.
did. Yeah, good
did.
point.
The creek fire and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, like my brother-in-law got evacuated twice. He was in that small fire up in Granada Hills.
Yeah.
So they got evacuated, then came home, and then it flared up again, so he had to leave again.
Oh my gosh.
They were fine.
It's like you going to the airport.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like everyone I know who lives kind of where you do, like in the valley or the
Hollywood,
Sherman
yeah.
Oaksy, Hollywoody area. There was just spot fires everywhere, constantly. You know.
Yeah.
And then we were just like less than a mile from an evacuation zone. And luckily, we're south of the 134, so just never the evacuation zones never came south of the 134.
Okay.
But we just sat there like packed, and we also learned real quick that if we had to evacuate, we would just lose everything.
Basically.
Yeah. Oh,
We,
yeah.
You're just saving your lives
We
at
were
that point.
hopeless. Like it was like we sat there. We had like, a pair of socks, like clothes for him, passports. Which why do you fucking need? You're not going to go out of the country, and like you can get a new passport from a government agency. It's not
I
hard.
don't know,
to
but
do.
it's in my
Yeah.
go
What
bag
if the
too.
government
Mine too.
agency got broken?
If the government agent got burned down, you couldn't get it. But like family photos, nah, didn't even think to grab those. Like I have like 5 bases, that are very, very valuable to me. Didn't even think to get them. I think we maybe thought we take the dog, but we might have forgotten the dog. Totally hopeless. Totally hopeless.
Was this the first time you ever had to evacuate?
Oh yeah.
Actually, no. Daddy told me once he saw a fire and like right when it got to the freeway, it just stopped.
When we used to live in Eagle Rock, there was a big fire on the hill on the other side, the north of the 134, and the whole neighborhood was standing in the street watching this fire burn down the hill. But then when it wasn't windy, and when it got to the 134, it just put itself out.
Wow.
Are you
And there was
talking
a
about-
helicopter like dumping water on it.
Are you talking about the one that came down right by the on-ramp to the 2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that one too.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was crazy.
That's right where we lived. I mean,
Yeah.
right, literally, right in like the Hill Street side of Eagle Rock,
Wow.
and yeah, we were just standing. It was before you were born, but that was totally crazy. So wow. But anyway, we didn't
We
evacuate.
were at that house before I was born.
Yeah, Mommy and I lived there a long time before you showed up.
Irene Hoffman's checking in. Craig McKenzie says, "What's the guy's thoughts on Porsche Sport-O-Matic? I'm disabled and can't use a clutch. The various old clutchless."
Manuals intrigue and scare me. Maintenance in equal measure.
So he's talking about
The old-
the old like haptic, like it completed a circuit shifty thing, or the
There was the Sportmatic, which was basically clutchless, but you still manually shifted the 911s and the old F bodies.
The Beatles had those too.
Yeah.
It was like, I don't know if it works. I'm sure it's.
That's I
pretty
would guess.
simple.
I don't have a lot. Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of experience with those, Craig McKenzie. But I would say that, like most things Porsche, if they're well maintained, they're probably fine.
Yeah, my buddy had a Beetle in high school that had one, and it was just weird because I remember you were shifting and you're kicking a dead space.
You have right.
But I
That's
think you
weird.
get used to it.
You probably, but it
But
just
I-
feels like power shifting a little bit.
Yeah, but I would say go for a PDK because that's like the best transmission on earth. It's like, it's
Well, for a
really
modern
good.
Porsche too.
Yeah,
I mean,
for
if
a
he's
modern-
looking at that, I'm guessing he wants
Oh,
it.
he wants
Is
a
that
Porsche.
classic, Craig? Are you stuck on classic? If not, I agree. Bianca
See you, buddy.
says watching from Weirdos. Oh, hi Bianca. We just had some pizza. It was delicious, and we send our love. I love that.
I'll come back in like a couple minutes.
Okay, buddy.
I know at least one guy who went to a Sportomatic after a stroke. It's not the best thing, but you're still getting.
To
You're still
shift.
going to get more of the experience than without it. Johnny can probably expound more.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, you're
I think we did
shifting. Yeah.
Pizza. Okay, we're catching up here. The pizza was delicious. Question for you guys: GT3 and GT4RS, or GT3RS and GT4?
Oh wait, I'm so confused. My
I think this
dyslexia-
is someone's looking for a perfect two-car solution, both Porsche.
Well, if two-car solution, you can do better than those two.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not a GT4 guy because I don't like, when it comes to Porsche, I'm a rear engine guy.
So, to answer this one, can't go wrong either way. The GT3 RS is the best car in the world, so
Yeah.
it'd
Not
have
too
to be
racy for
that
you?
one. It's perfect, and it's got it's the greatest. It's got softer springs than a GT3, and then remember you have full control over the dampers, so you can turn all the dampers to soft, so it actually rides softer than a GT3. You know, it's capable of riding softer than a GT3 is capable of.
Interesting.
And it goes faster around corners than it does in a straight line. It's the greatest.
Wow.
It's so wonderful. Yeah.
That is fascinating.
Yeah,
I don't know if
it's-
I knew that about the suspension being softer than
It can be. The springs are softer because of the adjustable dampers, and if you activate the active suspension and all
Right.
the knobs, then you're pretty soft.
So that's a world where I feel like you are vastly superior. There's many, but this one's vastly superior to me. I had that the M4 when it first came out, and that was way too many buttons and settings and options. The transmission had a setting. How hard do you want it to shift? Do you want it?
Well, how hard do you want it to shift? And
Great, but then there were different variables of that. There was like the sport,
Yeah.
sport plus, whatever. But then there was also an increment of 1, 2, or 3 as well. And it was just too much shit, too many fucking settings. And I like an old car. That's how it is when you get in every time.
But what if it sucks?
Well, so that's you can't have that. You got to make it not suck.
You got to. Oh man, the GT4 because you're driving along and you're like.
What
on
do
the
you like
freeway.
about the GT4?
The GT3 RS.
Got it.
Sorry, I meant. And you're on the freeway and you're doing this and you're like, ooh, if the rear had a little less rebound, click click, and the rear has a little.
I mean,
less
you're
rebound,
right, but I'm
then
not
it's
into the
like,
one car.
Then it's like. Then you can change up on that thing. You can actually change up the locking on the differential. So when you lift, you can change up power on locking and the power off locking. So you can have it so when you lift,
Ooh.
it it really unwinds. So if you lift and you have a little bit, it'll really swing the ass around or not. So you can just adjust all that on the fly. It's brilliant. And then you just have your car and you set it up for the road you're on, and it's.
So all of that stuff that you love, and I can see you salivating over describing
that's
these
just-
details.
it's the
All of
greatest.
those
Yeah.
things take me out of the driving experience.
It is the driving experience. You are
Pushing
tuning
buttons
the
is the
car.
driving experience.
No,
Not into it.
tuning the car, making the car feel better is the driving experience.
I agree with that. Somehow I still do the same thing, but I'm chasing it with Marco, trying to make the car be best all the time instead of with all these
Yeah, but
settings.
this way you don't have to have Marco. You just
I love
do it
Marco.
yourself. Yeah, he's fine, but you just do it yourself.
Yeah, I hear you.
Oh, it's so good. But you can and they let you. They have these big parameters where you can just change like fundamental things about the car. It's great.
So that too. I don't want that. I don't like rear wheel steering. I know you'll probably swear by it, right? You love it?
I mean, it's better than 2-wheel steering. 4-wheel steering is better than 2-wheel steering. It's like it's pretty obvious, right? Like otherwise,
What constitutes better?
it
Lap times at Nürburgring?
That's one thing, but it just turns better. It's just like less input gets you more turn.
That's an alignment too,
it can be, but it's
or
just,
setup on the car.
Yeah, but it's just better stability through corners at high speeds, and then at low speeds better turning radius. Like it's the best solution.
We do have clarity on what the question was.
Okay.
If you want to hit up YouTube.
Hang on,
wasn't
coming
it,
into
but
another
that
one.
is
I'm a
fun.
large man, 230, and love karting.
230.
They have leagues
What's
separated
up,
by weight.
skinny? I'm over 260.
Are you?
Yeah.
You wear it very well. It's because
guess.
it's all muscle, right? Because you're always lifting.
Yeah,
and
it's all
everything.
muscle, sure. Yeah, but I was
I
like,
can't lift the things you lift. It would throw my back
You've been
out.
working hard for a long time on that.
Yeah, but 260 is too big. But anyways, yes, go ahead.
Okay,
230.
next one.
Skinny. If I lost 30 pounds, I'd be.
It's meant for a two-car solution, switching from McLaren and Aston to all Porsche. Current daily is a 24 Macan GTS
And
and
still have the McLaren, but will go to be replaced by mentioned above. The non-RS version will be a manual. RS will obviously be PDK.
something's going on with you that you want to switch to all Porsche. What happened? Why did you get bit by the bug?
Germans gotta drive Germans. That's just how it
Oh.
goes. It's from Yasmin.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Okay, I
That's
see.
fair. That's
All right.
fair.
Yeah, I don't know the answer.
Where'd she get that money? Anyways.
Right? What are you doing, girl?
Yeah.
Hook me up.
Yeah, I mean, the GT4RS is great. The GT3 RS is much greater. So if you have a chance to get a GT3 RS, like,
And I'm over here still Mr. Touring guy, and you say no, it's got to have a wing.
touring is a GT3 without a wing, so you're paying the same money for less performance. Like, it makes no sense whatsoever. And when you're moving, the ass explodes, and it's horrible
I'm
looking.
so with you on that. I
Yeah,
hate to agree
but
with you.
They all do that.
I
Like-
know.
Like they all.
So that's my agree. They
100%,
all do that,
Yeah,
so I can't
100%
fault
do
them
that.
all.
And by the way, the whole rear steer thing, just to get back to it, I drove a 911 ST back to back with a current GT3, which has rear steer, and the 911R, which had rear steer. And the ST was better than both of them in every way, except for the steering was like shittier than the other two. And
The R had rear steer. I thought it didn't.
No, R is rear steer, 100%.
Was that a speccable option, or did they all come?
The only option on the R was the lightweight flywheel, which was a 90% take rate, it turned out. So, but yeah, no, they all had rear steer. GT3s have had rear steer since the 991.1.
I know.
That's what makes them so good.
I thought, like the ST, that the R didn't have it.
No, it was a new thing. They're running out of things to do. They're like, well, we gave it 18 more horsepower. We're charging 150 grand more. Pull more stuff out of it. Charge more.
That's the rule. I like the ST, but Magnus was here last week going off on everything that's wrong with it. And you just mentioned the steering, which that's one of the things that makes those cars great.
No, it makes it worse. But the ST, look, the ST should have been a $30,000 option pack on top of the GT3. It should. It's like, I get it, and they sold every single one, and blah blah blah, and all that stuff. You drive it, and it's like, it's like a GT3 with 18 more horsepower and slower, shittier steering.
Yeah.
And it sounds really nice. You drive the RS, and you're like, they've defied physics. They've it's like
Every time they come out with something new, I feel that way.
Well, no, but again, the STs came after the GT3 RS, and
it does what I do. It's a heritage. It's a throwback car. It's not supposed to be the fastest. The fucking hottest.
I'm not even saying the fastest. And again, I don't. The 3RS is not the fastest. And there's lots of cars faster in a straight line. It's the
fastest Porsche now, though, isn't it? Or is the 918?
I mean,
still
maybe
faster?
around the Nürburgring, sure, but not in a straight line. Like a turbo, whacks it in a straight line.
Who races Porsches in a straight line?
Lots of people.
Really?
Florida.
I would.
Florida. Who does it? Florida.
Okay,
Texas.
you can't compare
Every
Florida
state
to
that isn't
anything.
California, that's all they care about with cars is going in straight lines.
I'll never get it.
Me neither. But so for corners, it's the best at cornering. Like, it corners better than the ST.
Yeah, that's true.
And it feels better. It is such an accomplishment. Like, the only other.
It's not too race car for you. It's way too race car for me.
I mean, I guess the race car part is like, there's no glove box like that. Like, okay.
Well,
it'd be hard
it's
to-
got the digital wheel and the whole other thing. It feels like a real race car.
Yeah,
It felt like a cup car to me. It felt like what the Club Sport used to be.
Yeah,
the previous gen.
Yeah, a
Club
little
Sport.
bit. I mean, I've driven the current Cup car. No, it's got sound deadening. No, it's not that racy. But it's like the because the front doesn't open at all because there's that huge sucker intake. The spare tire kit has to go in the glove box by law. So you could take it out and have a glove box.
Okay.
But
Spare tire
You
kit
got a
has
lot
to
of
go in
feelings
the
about a
glove box.
huh?
well, there's just nowhere to put anything in the car. And the doors panels are flat, so there's no, like, even your sunglasses, you put them on the seat. You have a passenger.
That's a pain in the ass.
You know.
That is pretty funny. I know what you mean.
Yeah.
'Cause we took a lot of that. There's a lot of compartments that we took out of our car, and I sometimes miss.
Yeah, but it's like, so stuff
Well,
like
it's what
that.
you said when your wallet, your cell phone, like the places you would
Yeah,
just chuck something.
yes, and taking your wallet out is, with those seats is, you got to do it.
You have to, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, the only other two cars that are new that are I think as good as the RS. One might be a little, well, maybe both are better. The Ferrari, the 296, is insane.
Really?
It's because it's like.
Is the 296 the front engine?
It's
still
the
a
mid.
mid.
It's
Okay.
the mid. That's the one. My friend made me a hoodie that says this, but I pull up to, it must have been Good Vibes. I think it was I can't remember if it was good. Anyway, it was Newcomb's. Pulled to Newcomb's. Magnus is standing there, and I got out and I looked at it. And I said, "Enough with the fucking Porsches."
Oh, I was there. Yeah, that was good.
And
Vibes,
he looks at me and goes, "Yeah, I'm a Ferrari owner."
He does. He's got the GT4. That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah. And then the Gunther Works Turbo is,
That's your car.
and the production one is finally out. Farah had it. Scott Evans at Motor Trend has it right now, and Scott sent me here. This is funny. You'll
I'd like to get a hold of that one. I liked the red car when it first came out. They brought it up before Good Vibes was Good Vibes. It was just Secret Porsche Breakfast or whatever.
Red car was good.
Were you the last person to drive red car? I can't remember who the
There was
last person to
There was
drive red car was.
an Englishman. I saw it in my rear view.
An Englishman.
I said, "Wow, look at that! He's popping a wheelie."
Well, he's ruining the clip. Now this whole that conversation isn't clippable. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
An
So mean.
Englishman.
So Scott Evans from Motor Trend says, if they'd let me publish it, my entire review would just be 3 pages of expletives.
Oh, so he loved it.
Yeah, he took it up there this morning.
Yeah,
Wow.
an
You
orange car.
got a camera I can
Yeah, sure.
show this to?
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's the production
Put
one.
it in their face.
This will be interesting.
Yeah.
How do I do this?
Want me to
Yeah.
hold it?
That's
That
it.
works.
You got it.
There you
Boom.
go.
Yeah. So there's the production one. Now, Peter, if you're listening, Peter owns Gunther Works. If you're listening,
Wait, what?
that's
What
that's nice.
Oh, Vorsteiner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's nice.
I was a
This-
Beamer guy before Porsche.
This is nice and all.
What's that?
Shh, sit down. But
What is it?
do the Apocalypse spec, like the way the mule was, you know,
I remember.
do that, like Gunther, because I like Gunther Works.
It's
but
too polished now.
it's Peter's OCD is on display. You know what I
But
mean?
the carbon, the exposed carbon one was like it was just sort of rock star.
But remember, it was wrapped, so it had like this like hefty bag wrap that was rotting off of it because it did the cheapest wrap possible. So
Oh, I
the
forgot, yeah.
horrible wrap was corroding away, and there was carbon fiber underneath. It was
That's
the
right.
coolest thing. Like
Yeah,
just
you're
like you know, lacquer that. It was the best. It was the best.
And that's the one that Patrick Long
That was the
drove
yeah,
at
yeah,
Laguna Seca, yeah.
Yeah. So but so anyways, that's to me is where the GT3RS is in that sphere of cars. Yeah.
That's
that shelf. Yeah.
That's a huge.
And again, I like the ST, but it really ain't that different than a GT3.
But that's huge praise for Gunther Works then, if you're.
Oh yeah, the Gunther. Hey buddy. Hey,
Is he all right?
What are you doing? Oh,
I
you're
like
watching
it.
yourself on TV.
Yeah.
I see. Okay. Okay. I was
Hey, are we
like,
going live on Instagram at all? You want to do that?
Yeah, I mean, it's not like there's not too much going on.
yeah.
The BF just realized the Germans hold better value than the Brits. I see. That makes sense. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Any chance you could
They
talk about
could.
cars? Good call, Don Killer. Hilarious. Hilarious.
What were we talking about?
Yeah, he's a Letterman guy.
Oh,
So he doesn't get the car talk.
got it. What was that? What
Colorado
was
Springs has 2014 turbo that's built for a standing time.
Yeah. Yeah, people do a lot of straight line racing with Porsches.
It's very foreign to me. I mean, you know, being up on that hill, it just.
There's a
Boring
couple
to me.
straightaways.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
So what?
We need power to get
Is that how you do it? You just mash it all the time?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Well, that's how you get up Pikes Peak in a competitive
I
way.
guess no, but I mean, I the way
I'm up there
the
for
way-
the cruise. I enjoy all of it.
I love so it depends. So I evaluate. There are donuts up there. I evaluate cars like the number of times I hit triple digits on the way up. So like
You count that?
if you do it more than 10, that's a very good car.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, I never thought about that.
Yeah, and then also like when you have like I don't know, a Hellcat sedan and you pass 911s, that's also like a sign of a good car.
Is it the car or that's the driver?
I mean, little from column A, little from column B.
Well, but I mean, you in a Corolla would probably go around most people in a 911.
Me and my GR Corolla.
That's what I mean.
I felt so bad for this guy. It was a McLaren dude, and I sat on him. He never pulled over, but I sat on him the whole way up in my little Toyota Corolla.
Why didn't they pull over?
I don't know, but usually people usually
You actually sat on him?
I mean I sat on his bumper,
Tailgated him.
tailgated him
I
all the
don't
way
know
up.
what does that mean?
So what should happen? So here, if you're this is Lieberman's law. If you're driving by yourself and suddenly a car is behind you, that means they're faster than you. Pull over when it's safe and let them go by. It costs you nothing. It takes 1 second, and then you won't feel the pressure of someone on your butt. I do it all the time when there's a faster car.
Same.
As you should. But this dude in his McLaren, I think it was a 570, he didn't. So he had the honor and privilege of a Toyota Corolla following him, a $47,000 Toyota following the $300,000 McLaren all the way up. Yeah, and did he feel good about that? I don't know. He could have
didn't
ended.
let you pass.
He could have ended his humiliation early, but he chose not to.
It's just being stubborn.
fell off the
Which
road.
is just dangerous too. Like it doesn't matter if
You-
you were on his butt or not. It's just like read the room.
Yeah, and the other thing is, and I've got to stop doing that. This was just because it was a McLaren and I was in my
course,
little
yeah.
Toyota. But I've had two people, when I've been behind them, they've rolled over when they were in front of me. And,
Because you're pushing them?
the first one, no. The second one, I kept backing off because I'm like, this dude's going to roll. And then he rolled.
Hey, everybody.
What is rolling?
We're discussing
Car
Lieberman's
flips over.
law here in the
How?
playset.
They ran
We've
up the
got
canyon
Richard
wall
here
and
live
went
as
on the
well.
roof.
You got your manual Carrillo over there. You got Digital Zero and
weird.
Babes and Classics. We're talking about Lieberman's law, which is if you're on the crest.
Any road,
Any road,
road,
really.
any road.
Yeah.
So, okay, if you're driving by yourself and suddenly there's a car behind you, that means it's going faster than you are. So when it's safe, pull over, let the car behind you pass, and carry on. Don't start going faster, and don't not pull over. So you gotta, that's Lieberman's law.
Stay the course and get out of the way.
Yeah, just people drive at different speeds. It's fine. But no, the first one was this poor kid. I was in the Gunther. This was the day. I don't know if it was the day. Remember Nicole and I traded her purple gloves for,
yeah.
for the blanket?
You had the Spider, the Gunther Spider.
the Gunther Spider, yeah. But I can't remember. I was up the hill so many times in that car. I don't remember if it was good vibes. But there was a red Toyota FRS. going up the hill, and then I call it the second gear corner. So it's the big turnout on the way up.
Yeah, the helipad turnout.
Yeah, so below that, the real big sweeping alpine corner to the left. I in my lingo, it's the second gear corner.
Okay.
So I caught him right there, and he suddenly started driving faster, and then within a little bit he rolled at 10 miles an hour in front of me.
Wait, was that a kid?
He was like 18, and he was like, I pulled him out of the car, and he's like, "Oh man, it's my brother's car. I was visiting my girlfriend." And da, da, da.
Just
Yeah.
thought I'd flex on the crest.
I don't know what I mean, but it's like that second gear corner. Did I hug him?
Anybody have anything for Johnny?
Yeah, I helped him. But that corner's always shadowed, so it's like
So if you're not reading surface,
Is the one.
Also, 18-year-olds like to crash cars.
It's true.
yeah, that's when I learned my lessons. 18 to 20, I would say.
Take a snow.
Yeah, right there.
Really?
Yeah, I gotta tell you, I'm
So
certain.
That was the guy that rolled.
That's it. I showed you where that was. Yeah, but I was showing him. I'm starting to see ghosts on Angela's Crest because I've known so many people that have
Rolled
crashed,
over on
rolled,
that zinc.
died. You know what I mean?
Do you mean like video game ghosts, or you're passing fallen friends?
I'm just like, when I'm driving now, I'm like, oh, that's where so-and-so ate it, or that's where that car
Fucking
did
drive.
this.
The truth is, you only have to do it, drive it regularly for a little bit before you know somebody.
It's true.
Yeah.
It really has nothing to do with you. It's the rock. It's the deer. It's
Yeah.
it's the other thing.
I was telling him, my buddy Mike, had he was a journalist, Mike Harley. He was driving a AMG GT-S, a yellow one, great car, and then
We're on YouTube, everybody. See you there.
hang on, buddy, hang on. And then he was with his son, and a boulder fell, and it just flattened. It hit the hood. Luckily, it didn't hit
Oh,
them.
thank goodness.
But it destroyed the car. I've never. He showed me pictures. It was insane.
But they didn't get hurt at all.
They didn't get hurt at all. That's right.
Wow,
I knew a
miracle.
guy, same story, going down Angela's Forest
Yeah.
in a E39 M5, and a tumbling boulder came off the side and crashed right through the rear window into what would have been, if there was anybody in the back seat, it would have
Yeah.
been. But it didn't do any damage to the car. It hit perfectly right into the window, onto the leather back seat, broke the window, but didn't do any
Wow.
body damage, which was like the luckiest I'd ever
This
heard.
was like a monster boulder that it was like when the Hulk is smashing cars.
Oh.
That's what it looked like. The car was just pancaked.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was crazy.
There was one of those on PCH a few years ago. You remember that, where
It
people always
looks like
parked on the
Godzilla
cliffside?
was gonna smash it.
That's right.
And it looked like he had already smashed it and he was flipping it in a frying pan and eating it.
I don't know if they heard that or not, but that was
I mean,
awesome.
it was a yellow car, so yes, it did look like a pizza in a
Oh.
frying pan pancake.
People were asking on Instagram.
Yes.
The number one question was, "What's going on with the 914? What's the story?" I obviously know,
There's
but
no story. Nothing's going on.
I didn't even know it was yellow.
No, you've seen the car.
it was the Davey 914, right? Speaking of your buddy, Davey.
Yeah, it's Davy's car. Yeah, nothing. As far as I know, nothing. I was.
But you're having it restored.
I mean, I was told in what year are we in? I was told in October of 23. It's almost done.
Oh, well, that's good.
Yeah, so almost any day now.
October of 23. It's only just over a year ago. It's not over 2 years ago,
Yeah,
right?
it's like 15, 16 months ago. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, that's news.
Almost.
That's more.
I was also told it would be done by
Almost not.
November. It would be done by Thanksgiving of 23.
Oh, in the same conversation?
That was what he said. By almost, he meant Thanksgiving. But.
Well, all right. I mean, is this anything you're pursuing?
No, not one bit.
Okay.
Like, what am I gonna do? You know.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have enough cars to drive.
I'd have to clean out the garage to
We
park
only
it.
have 3.
Yeah,
Well,
sure.
and
Well, one of them's
and
at the
limitless
airport.
other ones that show up, right? Other ones just keep.
Do we have different? Is there a pink Porsche in the driveway right now?
One of them is at the airport. One of them is a test car. And the other one is at our house that we own.
Or it's maybe right downstairs?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Do you like the Rivian truck? Yeah,
But I like the stiff shift too.
You like the stick shift?
the GR Corolla.
But what do you like about the Rivian?
I like the gear tunnel.
Yeah.
Is that where you crawl through?
Yeah,
I like that too.
I can fit in it.
But also, what do you do with it? You put stuffed animals in it and then pull them out of the secret compartment? You know, in the back seat, or you can...
Oh yeah, I remember. Oh yeah.
Yeah. There's a way to access the gear tunnel from the back seat.
Oh, you're
It's like,
kidding!
it's like a hidden little flappy, yeah. So
I need water.
okay, go get your water.
There's, and you know the green room. He knows it, right? All right.
That's where he's kind of been hiding. Yeah.
I do have an odd Instagram question
Yeah.
for you.
We'll take odd.
Well, what does Zuckerman smell like?
He smells like money.
That's a good answer.
Well, Richard,
Perfect.
you're friends with Zuckerman.
What does he smell like?
Money.
You heard it here, folks.
Yeah.
And Daddy also asked me this question. Doesn't Zuckerman look like Zuckerman has like a garage thing
Yeah.
that keeps a lot of cars in,
Yeah.
and
His
it's
lair.
like a cave, and it's kind of like the cave of Dracula. And he said, isn't Zuckerman like Dracula? And I said, yeah, but instead of blood that he sucks money.
And I said, wow, son, at age of 7, he said the most anti-Semitic shit I've ever heard in my fucking life. Congratulations.
Wow, that was prolific.
But then we told Zuckerman that, and he was like, yeah.
That's great.
Oh my God.
Oh, now I remember. Yeah, now I remember the whole thing at Zuckerman's house. You told me that story. Oh
Yeah.
man, I forgot all about that. I can't even, being a relatively OCD person myself, and especially when Nicole was around, where it was like things need to be a certain way. I can't imagine having that experience.
That was a fun time.
What?
Right, kid?
Yeah.
there-
Hey, Richard, next time, how about I'll go in the green room and you can just talk to Jay?
That's the green room?
Yeah.
That's where you're hanging out.
What the
Where the M&Ms are? That's the green room.
The walls aren't green.
I know. Isn't that a pitiful shame?
What
a
kind of dump
disappointment.
is this?
What a disappointment.
This is trash!
We got the makings of a diva up in here.
Anything else, Richard?
I separated his M&Ms how he likes them.
Yeah.
We have a feedback. We
Okay.
followed your writer to the T, man, to the T.
Yeah. All right. Hey, bud.
What does tea mean?
It means, this is a good
It
question.
means to the exact point.
Exact point.
Oh, I thought it meant traitor.
I thought you were going to say trash.
Logical.
T stands for trash.
Hey, do you want to give Jay like a Greek mythology quiz? See how he does?
Whoa.
Okay.
You gotta ask questions
You'll have to ask him kind of loud, too.
and kind of quick.
How is there death in the world?
How is there death in the world?
It's a travesty.
How?
Is it
Pandora's box.
Pandora's box? That's right.
Is that true? Is that right?
Yeah.
Through Greek mythology, because someone did indeed go peek in Pandora's box, that then
No,
caused...
Pandora peeked in Pandora's box.
Oh, that's right. Don't look in this box. But Pandora was like, I have to know. Is there another name for that?
Pandora's jug.
Oh.
I was going to say temptation.
Mm.
Because it's kind of the Adam and Eve story,
Curiosity.
Yeah.
Curiosity.
Yeah, that's true.
Curiosity.
We learn by studying Greek mythology that a lot of it is in other cultures as
Oh,
well.
I know
Right,
another
right.
one.
Okay.
Okay.
Could be
What
quick.
does Minos mean?
What does Minos mean?
Without,
Minos.
I mean,
What
'cause
does
Minos-
Minos mean?
Minos.
Minos? What does it mean?
Minos.
What?
Minos is Fros.
King?
It is king. Oh.
Really?
What is queen? Do you know queen?
Don't know Queen.
Well, we're gonna find
Okay.
out.
All right.
The board goes back.
All right. We're gonna.
Good quiz.
Okay.
he's heckling the show he's on currently.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I mean,
What?
we
Heckle
stand.
mean?
Heckle means.
Are you guys? Do you guys go drive cars together? I know you take your own cars out, but does
Sometimes.
he ever come with you when
Yeah,
you do
we
test drives?
We
and
went
stuff?
up to the snow on Angeles Crest in the Rivian the other day.
And we went to a style place where we saw a bunch of cars roll over
Mm-hmm.
and get flattened
Yeah.
Like a junkyard.
and fall off the side.
No, just Angeles Crest.
And
Oh,
fall
yeah.
off the side.
Yeah. When I told him stories about people I know that have like launched Ferraris and stuff off the side. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we had a good time, and you made a snowman that turned into the Great Wall of China with a shovel. That was pretty fun.
Oh.
For 2 years.
And then you know the little tiny 3 mile off road section up there,
Yeah. Well, which one? I don't know. Which
the one by Charlton Flats.
Okay. Yeah, I do.
So we went and
It goes up to the
Tree that
Forest
fell
Service.
down.
The Forest Service camps up there.
yeah.
There was a tree
And
that
there was
fell
a
down
really
and we couldn't
big.
get
I think
out.
the winds kind of knocked it down, so we had to like reverse for like a mile
Oh man, in the snow.
in the snow. Yeah, in a very
And-
wide truck on a very narrow path. That
And
sort
the
of sucked.
mirror, there were like a bunch of plants to scratch the car, and the mirror kept like going like can't.
Mirrors get knocked backwards by like trees.
Limbs and stuff.
Yeah, it sucked. Luckily, the truck's wrapped, so no scratches. But
Your car?
the Rivian's wrapped, yeah. Clear. Like,
Oh,
like,
I don't know
like-
if I knew that.
I
Oh,
don't
the
know.
regular whatever it's
Yeah,
called, the
paper
PPF
protection,
or
yeah,
whatever.
PPF,
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I'm an old guy. I'm such an old guy.
PPF is great, you know, because it's just.
I'm not a fan because I'm an old guy.
I am done.
Isn't it ridiculous?
I mean, it's
Get
just,
your shit new. I'm like, but I want it to look old.
Oh, I see what you're
Yeah.
saying. Yeah. I mean, I don't want, I guess I like it because you can reverse backwards up a trail for a mile and scratch every branch, and it doesn't show anything.
And PPF's great for resale value, right? Like if you're
I
gonna,
don't know.
well, because it protects it.
I get. I guess I should. I never think about resale value. I just see cars as like money pits. So, but I know people. That's like a big thing is like reliability and resale. But I never think about that.
You buy a car because you like it.
Yeah. So
Yeah, that's me too.
Yeah. I think that's the way to do it.
Do you still have the Julia?
No, Julia was a lease.
Okay.
Lease was up. I bought the Toyota.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So Toyota's mine, and I've avoided the warranty. Hey, bud.
Maybe he sees something we don't
Back
see.
to the green room, buddy. Back to the green room with you. Take your plate. Go. You're cute, but don't wreck the show. Make the show better. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Work on new material.
We've seen this one already.
Yeah. So what would you say?
I don't know. We can call this done. I don't know
Yeah.
what else we'll get out of this.
What else is on the little blue
I'm excited that we got a mixture. We got pizza.
I was modifying. I'm avoiding my warranty. I keep.
Oh,
modifying.
yeah. There you go. Go ahead.
yeah.
Yeah.
My people who did not have pizza tonight.
Bye. Yeah, I keep modding it, and that's been a lot of fun. So,
Okay.
yeah.
And the GR Corolla you're doing.
That's
stuff
the one
to.
I'm modding. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you do the exhausts? What else?
So
Chipped?
far,
Chipped it?
let's see. Exhaust. It has a chip. It has a new intercooler, radiator, oil cooler.